So welcome on board, Mr. Sampson, and good morning. It's a pleasure having you today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Mr. Sampson. This is coming from Rufai Hosseini. So he said there is nothing called political ideology in Nigeria. It is only we only have belly logic.
Well, I think that's an obvious truth. There's no political ideology because we have not really enjoyed a sustained continuity in our progressiveness and our development. At the state level and at the federal level, continuity has never been sustained. I think the only state that comes closer to that is Lagos State. And this is why Lagos State has enjoyed, though slow, but at least some level of progress in their development. All right? In the Americas, we know the Republicans for being a capitalist party, while the Democrats, we know them to be the egalitarian. The Democrats are more inclined to socialism, while the Republicans are more inclined to capitalism. Can we say that for our parties here? Another issues that we have in Nigerian democracy system is we have too many parties portraying themselves as a vehicle, which really they lack an ideology. I mean, how can we have 18 political parties? How can that ever be viable? In the Americas, I don't think we have more than 3 political parties. In the UK, I don't think we have more than 3, if I'm not mistaken. In South Africa, we don't have more than 2. Our neighbors, Ghana, I don't think we have more than 2. I mean, we need to streamline the numbers of parties first of all, and when that is done, we know if you don't belong to party A, you belong to party B. So there shouldn't be an issue whereby you have 18 political parties and all you keep doing is getting, you just keep jumping ship just to be on the side that can galvanize more votes and all that. So from that speech that Rufai Hosseini said, it is true, but of course we still have to fall back to the National Assembly. I will be hammering on National Assembly, I think, for the rest of the year, because I believe whatever reform that we might need politically, I mean, in any strata of our economy, the National Assembly are the ones who chart the course. They are the policy formulators. They are the one that can rejig our electoral laws. They are the one that can bring out policies that will help reform our party system. All right? And I think that must be looked into.
All right, sir. So thank you for that, sir.
Yeah.
So can this also be said about the citizen that also asks for something before the votes for any political candidate during the election?
Well, the issue of citizens requiring for mobilization is not unique to Nigeria. Okay? I mean, we saw this happen even in the US of A. Recently, Trump has been providing palliatives to the US Americans. This is to galvanize, emotions. This is to galvanize people's heart. And that is not unique to us. We have seen situations whereby politicians will monetize, by buying vote through various means. The question is, we, the Nigerian people, must be definitive. We must be decisive in our needs and our wants from those politicians. I understand that poverty has been weaponized across the board, most especially in the north. Palliatives are shared when we are closer to the election period, so as to galvanize people's mind, okay, so as to gather people's sympathy and to buy people's trust. That happens everywhere. But we, the people, must, until we get ready to know what we want, Our mindset must be sharpened. Our mindset must be fortified. Nobody can stop the politician from providing such palliatives, such campaign instruments. You cannot. But when your mindset are reformed, then you can overcome such manipulative measures the politicians deploy, especially during the campaign season. So to me, we the Nigerians are actually the one allowing ourselves to be used until we reform our mindset. Poverty of the mind is the highest level of highest level of poverty. We have seen rich people in Nigeria who are, suffering from poverty of the mindset, and with that, you can see it showing all over them. All right, because they will end up taking the wrong decisions in their lifetime. So we as the people, we must have a reform of our mindset. We must be ready to work for a better Nigeria. It's as simple as that.
All right, sir. Thank you for that, sir.
Yeah.
So, when the president came into office, first things, part of the things he does was to omit himself from the fuel issue. So now the marketers now have freedom to just hike price on a daily basis. Now they told us a barrel is now over $94, and they want to hike it in a fresh bid now. How can this government curb these marketers?
Well, the only way the government can curb or curtail the marketers is to introduce the subsidy. All right, because we have a standard subsidy regime, but in Nigeria we understand that we tend to capitalize and we tend to abuse when things like that surface. I can guarantee you that we should have been paying more than 500 plus, because as of today the crude barrel per dollar price has increased. When the president came on board, I think it was around $80, and now it's around almost $95 per barrel. So we should be paying more, but because the NNPC still controls the major, share the petroleum industry, whereby they are the major importer. So I guess they are partnering with their profit. The PIA, we can say the PIA has not really gone fully into implementation. The private investors, the private, the private importers that have been given the licenses, they've not started importing the PMS. When the PIA is fully in effect, the prices of fuel ordinarily should be around 700 and 760. So what actually we need is where the government focus on local production. That's the only viable way, or we go back to the subsidy. Alright? It has been said worldwide that we taking away the subsidy is the best way to go. But the government in its own part must ensure that local refineries begin production. I believe when the local refinery will begin the production, Dangote refinery will have no choice to also kickstart his own refinery, because he will feel threatened of not being out competed, or of not being, he feel threatened. That's just the truth. So more capital needs to be invested into that oil sector, especially into our refining section. We need to have more oil produced locally. That's the only viable, solution. The Ipman are working with the dollar. We know the dollar is quite expensive now. Having devaluated and having removed, or should I say, having unified the dollar market. All right. And yes, we know we don't have enough FX to back up, and that was a major reason why that subsidy was removed away from the dollar. So we as the people, we have to clamor for local production to commence as soon as possible. The president has promised us December, and I think that will be the last straw. And we must come out plainly. And I think Labour Congress should also be stern with that. they should make a stern pronouncement that if by December and the Port Harcourt refinery does not come up stream, then we have to shut down the economy. It simply means that the federal government, the Tinubu administration, want to keep taking us for a ride. Local production is the solution, and I think let us focus on that.
All right, sir. Thank you for that, sir. So lastly, sir, the reason for this subsidy removal in the first place and the increase in tuition fee and other commodities is to reduce the Nigerian debt. But for the last 3 months, the Nigerian debt has jumped by 75% from 73 million now to from 73 trillion now to 87 trillion in just 3 months. So where has this government been spending Nigerian money?
Well, the truth is the government has not acquired any new loan. It's just simple mathematics that we saw at play. Before now, our dollar was 460 something right at the CBN rate. So immediately the dollar was unified. The official rate jumped to I think around to 700 plus or 800. And as we all know, our debts are domiciled in what? In dollars. So I mean, it's simple mathematics. It's not as if the federal government has acquired more loans, but it's as a reason of unifying the dollar, as a reason of taking away the subsidy on dollar, and this was why our debt value increased. So it wasn't necessarily because we had borrowed more money. However, on the flip side, it simply means that the federal allocation that the federal government shares has increased. I mean, we saw how in the first month of this regime, they shared I think 1.7 trillion, which has never happened since 1999. All right. So we must understand that yes, the debt has increased because the dollar subsidy has been taken away, but it was solely because of that. It wasn't because we borrowed more money. All right, so I think that was the reason why. And on the tuition fee, I mean the federal government sincerely need to intervene because our students cannot be thrown out because of hiking price. The Minister of Education must come to the fore. He must ensure that in club now, and he must ensure that the federal government does everything possible to continue to subsidize our education. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, sir. So that's all from Mr. Samson, Mr. Kunle, and Mr. Ralph. As we all know, here at Oba, it's always a busy atmosphere. The people always come out in masses to give their verdicts on the current situation in Nigeria. As we all see them, you can see them, it's always busy here. The good citizens of Nigeria usually come here to stand and to give their verdict. So that's all from Oba here. So if you are just joining us, please subscribe to our channel, like and share our video. As you can see, Mr. Charles too is here to give his say on the Nigerian general issue. So we'll be hearing from him anytime from now.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Charles. Like I said, I'm very, very much happy this morning. Though I am not happy because the death of Mohbad, what we are asking for is justice. Let there be what? Justice for Mohbad, because on fingers, I am not saying that this is the person that killed him, but we don't have police in Nigeria. We don't have police in Nigeria because the same young guy was crying for justice for some months, almost 3 months ago. He was on Twitter, he was on TikTok crying for justice. The security agencies do not do anything about it. Now it's late, and you're trying to tell her that you want to go for an autopsy. After the death, the girl has no time to talk. I'm disappointed with Nigerian government.
All right, sir, Mr. Chan. So talking about Mohbad death, the police, the security agency, which is the Nigerian Police Force, has already set up a 13-man investigative committee to unravel the cause of his death in 2 weeks' time. So there is now a 2 weeks ultimatum. I believe the Nigerian police will do their job and bring in justice as usual.
Where were they when the young man was crying for justice? Where was Nigerian police? This same guy was crying, both on Twitter. Another thing, you know, I watched the video. The guy was crying, asking that a group of individuals, a group of Nigerians were after his life. And a lot of Nigerians were asking him, commenting on that same chat, asking him, Mohbad, where are you? Send us a location. We want to see where you are. Where was Nigerian police when the same guy was being molested by, you know, there was a time this guy went for a show. You remember? After he went for a show, according to him, that he was chased by a group of individuals, and about 5 million naira was being what? This property was being destroyed by the same people. Why are the Nigerian police trying to give us story after medicine? A young guy, the same guy, they were complaining that this guy went for a show. I also watched the clip that he went for a show, he collected water, a bottle of water, and immediately he collected the water, he drank the water, he could not recognize himself again. It was on video, you saw it. Now, Nigerian police saw all these things. Where were they when this young man was crying? Where were they when this guy was telling them that his life was still at stake? The guy did not keep quiet to himself. He exposed almost everything. So Nigerian police would have come in defense of this young guy. Question some of the people in that this guy was busy calling names. I don't want to mention anybody's name because I don't know. I was not there. I'm not part of Malians. But this guy made the Nigerian police now are not giving us medicine after death. The guy is late already. So what do we do? Even if he went out and carried an autopsy, can that autopsy still bring back that boy? The answer is no. A shining star have gone. So I am disappointed with Nigerian police.
So we still believe the Nigerian police are the only force that can bring justice for Mohbad even after his death. So going forward, the marketers I knew for a hike, new fresh hike on fuel as barrel reach $94 per barrel. So do you think this is the right time for federal government to put a stop to this and to put and have a price control mechanism in Nigeria?
I am disappointed with the government and the Nigerian marketers.
You know, earlier this month or last month, the president said he doesn't have any hand on fuel or the price or anything again.
Have you, Mr. Journalist, have you forgotten that the same president is still the Minister of Petroleum? Have you forgotten? Let him say for that bullshit. You cannot tell me that Mr. President do not know anything about the price control of fuel in Nigeria. Mr. President is the president of Nigeria and he's still the Minister of Petroleum. So let him go far. He should go far from that, telling us that he does not know anything about the price control in Nigeria. Are you getting me? Nigerians, the problem we are having in Nigeria are the government and the marketers. Nigerian marketers are looking for a little big opportunity to hike any price that comes their ways. And it's not supposed to be like that. But the government, they knows what to do to checkmate, to balance the price of petroleum in Nigeria. We cannot be an oil producing country or nation and still we are suffering. Are you getting me? So the Mr. President should not come out here. I am not saying he's lying, but nothing will go without passing through us his table. He is the president, another sensitive position in Nigeria, and also the Minister of Petroleum. And the petroleum we are talking about is on a high increase, and the same man is telling us that he does not know anything about the excess, the level of price going on in Nigeria. And you want to believe that? I'm disappointed in you too.
All right, sir. So I hope and believe the president will do the needful. Once he's back in Nigeria, as we all know, he's still currently at United Nations General Assembly, which he will be addressing some issue there later today. So, lastly, sir, after the successful meeting with the president, Boa promised to slash the cement price from 5,005 to 3,000.
Do you think they are going to give Boa the kind of company loyalty they have given to the so-called Dangote? Do you think they're going to give Boa that kind of rights that have given to Dangote? If you should give other marketers, other producers, other manufacturers the kind of opportunity you are giving to Dangote in Nigeria here, believe me, we are not going to have issues concerning the productivities in Nigeria. Yes, we have decided that we're going to slash the price of cement to some certain percentage. It's a local development. But if we stand here, do you think that Dangote is going to give him that little bit of opportunity for him to go in and become the solid distributor of cement in Nigeria? The answer to that is no. We are watching. We are all Nigerians. As long as there's life, we are here watching to find out what is going to happen in this country. But believe me, Boa will not be given, even if they're going to give him something like that, it's only going to be like 20%. The problem we're having in this country is that monopoly. You have decided to have shifted the production and the distribution of most of the Nigerian properties, Nigerian products, to a particular one man being Dangote, and it's not supposed to be like that. It should have been a burden that should have shifted to a lot of Nigerians. You find out that we have a lot of producers, a lot of marketers and manufacturers. Give them that opportunity you are giving to Dangote. Boa is there crying on a daily basis. Give me this 5,200 naira. I am going to reduce it to 3,005. If Boa should go in and reduce that to 3,500, other marketers will go back and sit back very well and reduce theirs to 2,500 naira. And you see, we are balancing the economy. That's it. You see, the problem we are having here in Nigeria is the problem in Nigeria is Dangote. Dangote is our problem. You cannot continue giving Dangote the major right to be the solid owner of distribution of products in Nigeria. Give it to other manufacturer. The federal Nigeria will be good. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. So now from Mr. Charles. As you can see, he's angrily answering all questions so far. So he's tackling the police, the Mohbad death, and Dangote for being the face of distribution of Nigerian commodities. Do you think the Nigerian government have monopolized the country to the hands of Dangote alone? So Mr. Charles has shared more light on that. As you can see, he is very much angry. So if you are just joining our station, please subscribe to our channel, like our video, share, and don't forget to click on the bell button so as to bring you a new video every day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.